Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Light from Mars. It's your girl Marissa. What is up? I'm very excited to be with you guys here today as always. Today we are going to be talking about haunted forests from around the world. This is going to be a list of different forests of all different locations throughout the entire globe that are supposedly haunted. So obviously this means different things depending on the forest. Every single forest has its different stories, different things people have experienced, different legends, etc. Some of these forests definitely have quite a reputation. And if you are into the creepy vibes, maybe you'll want to add some of these forests to your bucket list. But for most of you, I'm guessing that you're going to want to stay very far away. So without further ado, let's get into the list of haunted forests from around the world. The first forest on the list is Griffith Park in Los Angeles, California. Griffith Park apparently has its fair share of ghost stories and ghosts who supposedly haunt the park. According to legend, the park was once owned by a wealthy bachelor named Don Antonio Feliz, who lived there with his niece Petrania in the mid-1800s. When the Don died of smallpox in 1868, he left the entire ranch to a local politician and nothing for his niece. Petrania, unpleased with the lack of inheritance, cursed the entire park, declaring, "The wrath of heaven and the vengeance of hell shall fall upon this place." Over the next few decades, horrible fates like mysterious deaths, crop fires, and more befell every subsequent owner of the property. Add that to some modern day murderers and satanic cult rituals taking place within the park's dense woods, and you have yourself one enigmatic tourist destination. Wow guys, so this is a really interesting story. So basically, out of spite, this man's niece supposedly cursed the entire park. Now, as far as what is causing all of these weird things to happen, I don't know. Could it have been his niece's curse? Was there already some weird vibes going on and she just kind of amplified them? I mean, I don't know. Have you guys ever been to Griffith Park? I would love to hear if you guys have had any interesting or weird vibes there or experiences. The next haunted forest on the list is Highgate Cemetery in London, England. This lush and leafy North London garden, fictionalized in Bram Stoker's Dracula as Kingstead Churchyard. Okay, so this was already in a horror movie, so I'm guessing it already had some spooky vibes just to begin with, so let's just mark that. Has a pleasantly eccentric roll call of notable graves, including those of Karl Marx and Douglas Adams. Wow, okay, well, that's definitely interesting. And while it remains one of London's least visited landmarks, those who do enter its gates come seeking ghostly encounters as much as celebrity headstones. The site was established in the mid-1800s and became neglected and unattended by the end of World War II. The overgrown vegetation and crumbling monuments only upping the fear factor. Why did everything creepy start in the mid-1800s? Like, I swear the last story also said that something happened in the mid-1800s, so I'm getting the vibe that obviously that was just not the best time to be alive. A lot of really creepy things started up during that time, so I don't trust it. I'm a little sketched. We're gonna need to find out more about that. Then, in the 1970s, after appearing as a filming location in several horror movies, wow, okay, so it wasn't just one horror movie, it was several, Highgate reached a surge in popularity, namely among self-proclaimed vampire hunters. Whoa, okay, so that's interesting. Many visitors have claimed to see a creature hovering over the graves, a vampire presumably, and stories of grave robbing began appearing in the news. Wow, okay, so this is different than I thought. Do I believe in vampires? I don't know. I guess I'll have to look more into it and I'll probably make a video about it. The so-called vampire hunters would open tombs to drive wooden stakes into the corpse's chest. Okay, I mean, that seems a little overboard. To this day, Highgate remains a go-to spot for enthusiasts of all things fanged and occult. I will say that this isn't really a forest. I mean, obviously I guess it's a cemetery in kind of a small forest, so I guess you can call it a forest, but obviously the fact that it's a cemetery inherently I think makes it more creepy, and I mean obviously probably more prone to being haunted. So Just saying. The next creepy haunted forest on the list is the Island of the Dolls in Xochimilco, Mexico. So I am very excited about this because I have definitely heard of this place, and if you guys haven't, it's real creepy, okay? Despite its status as a World Heritage Site, along with Mexico City, it's a well-preserved example of Aztec life. Xochimilco has reached a certain amount of internet fame for its Isla de las Muñecas, or Island of the Dolls. Hidden among the area's many canals, the site is famous for the hundreds of dolls and doll parts hanging from trees and scattered among the grass. Obviously, you can see that this place is horrifying. There's literally dolls all over the island. There's nothing about this island that is not creepy, okay? The Chinampa, or artificial island, used to be the residence of a now deceased man named Julian Santa Barrera. After finding a dead girl's body in a nearby canal, Barrera collected and displayed the toys in hopes of warding off evil spirits. That almost seems like an oxymoron, like, what? I do not feel like if you find a dead little girl in a canal, that putting an island of a bunch of creepy decaying dolls is going to ward off any evil spirits. Obviously, it would probably have the opposite effect, but you know what? I really hope that it worked out for that guy and that he was genuinely comforted by all of the horrific things on this island. Today, the island is believed to be haunted by the ghost of the drowned girl. And local legend even states that the dolls have been heard whispering to each other, moving their heads and arms and opening their eyes. Yes, guys, I've heard this too. It's crazy. Supposedly, some dolls, especially in certain locations, they'll follow you with their face, or they've been known to change positions, or they'll move around without anyone touching them, or just weird stuff, guys. And obviously, like I said, I would not be surprised if this island is haunted by this little girl, because I mean, come on, it obviously probably is. The next forest on the list is Pine Barrens in New Jersey. The heavily forested Pine Barrens spans over 1 million acres and 7 counties in New Jersey. This is a forest. Now, this is a real forest for sure. This is not just a park or little island. No, this is a real forest. I can appreciate that. The area thrived during the colonial era, host to sawmills, paper mills, and other industries. People eventually abandoned the mills and surrounding villages when coal was discovered to the west in Pennsylvania, leaving behind ghost towns and some say a few supernatural wonders. The most popular Pine Barrens resident is without a doubt the Jersey Devil. According to legend, the creature was born in 1735 to Deborah Leeds, her 13th child, with leathery wings, a goat's head, and hooves. It flew up the Leeds chimney and into the Barrens, and it has been killing livestock and creeping out South Jersey residents ever since. Wow, guys, okay, I honestly didn't even know that the Jersey Devil was supposedly born to an actual human parent. That's news to me. I thought it was just like a supernatural creature that was just out there f***ing with everyone like all the rest, but I guess not. I guess it was just some demonic spawn creature. But I will say, guys, there's definitely more to this whole Jersey Devil thing. I have heard a lot of stories, and a lot of people have had real experiences and interactions with this supposedly Jersey Devil, and a lot of people take it just as fact, especially in that area. So personally, I think that there's probably something to that. So I would definitely for sure say that this is a haunted forest. The next forest on the list is Wychwood Forest in Oxfordshire, England. Wychwood Forest's air of mystery stems from the story of Amy Robsart, the wife of the Earl of Leicester. Amy mysteriously broke her neck and died in 1560. Oh my god, I'm sorry, Amy. Years later, her husband encountered her ghost in Wychwood while on a hunting trip. Oh god. Her spirit told the Earl that he would join her in the afterlife in just a few days. As promised, he fell ill shortly after the encounter and died quickly. Local legend says that anyone who encounters the ghost of Amy in Wychwood Forest will befall the same fate as the dearly departed Earl of Leicester. I will say that, I mean, I don't really think it's that creepy just because it's only one ghost, and I mean, if it's a whole forest, like, are you really gonna run into her? You know what I mean? Like, she's busy, she's got a life, she's probably doing other things. She doesn't have time to just meet up with you and tell you you're just gonna die in 7 days like Samara, you know what I mean? Probably enjoying the view, maybe picking some berries. I don't know what they do in the forests of England, but I'm sure she's a busy gal. The next forest on the list is the Black Forest in Germany. So I have definitely heard of this forest, and I've heard that it is a supernatural forest, so let's just get into it. Hardly any sunlight breaks through the dense fir trees of the Black Forest, and the myths surrounding these woods are more fantastical than paranormal. A headless horseman riding around on a great white steed. A king who kidnaps women to take them to his underwater lair where he lives among the nymphs, friendly dwarves, and lurking werewolves. Is there any wonder the Brothers Grimm set so many of their fairy tales here? That is interesting. I honestly definitely believe that there's probably something going on in that forest, because the stories of that forest being supernatural and kind of magical do go back a pretty long time, which obviously makes sense, and why, like they said, the Brothers Grimm actually used this location in a lot of their stories. So that's definitely a creepy forest, and I would definitely be interested in looking more into that. I just feel like a lot of these places are just such powerful energy vortexes, you know, just some kind of ripple in space-time, because we really don't even understand the fabric of the universe, and there's multiple dimensions, and we don't even really understand what goes on Earth really actually, or in the universe in general, or just in the fabric of space in general. So it doesn't surprise me that places like this exist, honestly, and I completely believe that this is probably true. So again, I would love to look more into this forest, so if you guys are interested in any specific forest and you want maybe a longer video on it, please let me know in the comments, because I would love to know. The next haunted forest on the list is Cameron Park in Waco, Texas. Waco's Cameron Park has several spots that are reported to be paranormal hotspots, including Jacob's Ladder, a treacherous set of stairs haunted by a, quote, grabbing ghost who grabs onto climbers close to pull them down. But perhaps the most well-known site is the Witch's Castle, a name given to crumbling ruins found deep in the park. According to one story surrounding the castle, and there are many, the ruins are the former house of a woman suspected of witchcraft in late 1800s. Again, we hear with the 1800s, guys. I'm telling you, everything bad apparently started in the 1800s, or according to this article at least. Waco residents blamed the woman after people began disappearing in the surrounding woods, so they formed a mob and burned down her house while she was still inside. That's problematic. Some people claim to see the witch's figure wandering through Cameron Park today, even chasing down some unlucky visitors. Well, I will say that, I mean, I kind of want to give the woman the benefit of the doubt, right? I know that a lot of people and a lot of women were burned as witches, when in reality they were just healers, and you know, even if they were witches, who cares? I feel like the vast majority of women who were practicing witches did not use their magic for any evil intention, and so I would hope that the same is the case with this woman, but I mean, I guess you never know. Of course, there are people who do manipulate magic and energy for negative reasons, so I mean, does this woman's ghost haunt this place? I would believe that she probably does, because in the research that I've done, it seems like ghosts are more likely to appear if they died in some sort of traumatic way, and so obviously getting burned alive in your own house is pretty traumatic, so I would not be surprised if that lady probably does haunt this park. Okay guys, on to the next forest. The next forest is Epping Forest in Essex, England. There seems to be a lot of haunted places in England, probably because they did a lot of in history, I mean, just saying. The size and density of Epping Forest have made it a popular hideout for criminals and an infamous burial spot for bodies. Oh god, okay, so it's already obviously a little sketchy. Notorious highwayman Dick Turpin hid there in the early 1700s, and more than a dozen murder victims have been discovered in the woods since the 1960s. Okay. It's no surprise then that the forest has developed a reputation for spooky sounds and ghost apparitions, including Turpin himself. Some people also claim that if you drive to Hangman's Hill and park in neutral, your car will be slowly pulled uphill. Guys, I have definitely heard of this place. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, so apparently on this road, if you just park your car in neutral, your car will go uphill instead of downhill. So this is an example of a place in the world where physics just kind of do do not obey their normal laws. And there's actually a couple of places like this in the world, so that might be an interesting video idea. Do you guys want to see that? Leave a comment. But in places like this where you see these kind of strange glitches in the matrix, you definitely also tend to see a lot of paranormal activity. So I would assume that this area probably definitely is pretty haunted. Even if you don't believe in the myths, just the appearance of the woods is likely to send a chill up your spine. The pollarded trees haven't been cut since the late 1800s, thanks to the Epping Forest Act of 1878, giving an overgrown and bulbous look that you won't find anywhere else. The next forest, what do you know, it's also in England. So this is supposedly all around the world, and I'm kind of upset that they're all in England, but I mean, I don't know, maybe England just has some really haunted forests. So this is Daring Woods in Smarden, England. The Daring Woods are commonly referred to as the Screaming Woods, or, you know, a perfect place to host your next family camping trip. LOL. Visitors report hearing blood-curdling screams. Right, that makes sense, hence the name. Coming from the forest depths at night, as well as footsteps and whispers on foggy days. The screams are often attributed to a highwayman who was captured and killed by villagers in the 18th century, and whose ghost apparently still holds quite the grudge. That's rough. Others believe the hauntings are the result of a 1948 massacre, where 20 people were supposedly found dead in the forest on the morning of November 1st. Well, I would definitely personally believe that that's probably the cause, and suddenly the screaming kind of makes sense. Residents reported seeing strange lights emanating from the woods that Halloween night, and autopsies of the bodies couldn't determine a cause of death. Okay, that is weird. So basically the supposed massacre that took place, they couldn't even find out why these people died. There was just a group of dead bodies in this forest. So I don't know, that's a little weird. Again, I would probably not go to this forest. And the next forest on the list is Dow Hill Forest in India. Located in the West Bengal town of Kurasong, the Dow Hill Victoria Boys School is known as one of the most haunted places in India. Sounds like it was founded by the British, so once again, colonialism causes hauntings. Locals claim to hear footsteps echoing through the halls when the school is closed from December to March, but it is the surrounding forest that garners the most paranormal attention. The wooded area is rumored to be the site of several murders, and woodsmen have reported seeing a headless boy wandering among the trees and along the path between the school and the forest, appropriately named Death Road. Alright guys, I mean, once again, you know, there are some crazy things in the forest, and it doesn't surprise me that this little colonial school is haunted, so that's all I'm gonna say about that. Next forest is Devil's Tramping Ground in North Carolina. Deep in the North Carolina woods, about 50 miles south of Greensboro, is a mysterious circle where no plant or tree will grow, nor any animals cross its path. The reason? The 40-foot clearing is where the devil comes to stomp and dance every night, at least according to local legends. Right, okay, well, that's not terrifying whatsoever. The area has built up quite the eerie reputation over the years, you don't say. With people claiming to see red eyes glowing there at night and placing their belongings in the circle in the evening, only to find them thrown back out in the next morning, presumably so the devil can clear his dance floor. Alright guys, that was the last forest on the list, and I have to say that's not really a forest, it is just kind of a clearing area in a forest, but that's definitely still pretty creepy, and I had honestly not heard about that place. So just so you guys know, I got this list from a CNN article. I didn't actually make this list, so if I had made it, it probably would have had a little more representation from actually around the world, because I know, and I know I'm sure some of you guys can tell me that there are some really creepy haunted forests all around the world that were not on that list. So if you guys want a part 2, maybe I'll throw some suggestions in there. Let me know. I would also love to know if you guys would like me to do an expanded video on any of these forests or locations. I would definitely love to dig up some more stories on some of these places and kind of go more into depth about the crazy paranormal occurrences that are happening there. So let me know which one was you guys' favorite, which one seemed most intriguing. Please leave a comment. Also make sure to give a big like on this video if you guys did enjoy it. It lets me know that I should continue making videos like this, and you know, it's just a nice thing to do. So if you're a nice person, I mean, you know, it would be a nice thing to do. Also, of course, please do subscribe to my channel. I so appreciate every single person that subscribes. I have tons of content constantly coming out for you guys, so there's never a dull moment. Plenty to look forward to all the time. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope it didn't creep you out too much. Hopefully just the right amount. I hope you found it intriguing and maybe a little bit interesting. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!